I moved here in 1986 at a time when the Pride Parade was, I believe, up and down 4th Avenue, and the festival, at least the first one I went to, which may have been in '87, was in the dusty parking lot of WCPC nightclub. And I remember, for me, it was my first Pride experience. Having come from Buffalo, there were no Pride parades at that time. Nothing was organized, so it was a very, very big deal to me, even though I may have only been looking at maybe 15,000 people at the time. So I continued going to the Pride events, and in the early 90s, shortly after I left the Union Tribune, I was contacted by Brenda Schumacher, at the time the executive director, and they were looking to build a media campaign literally from the ground up. They had nothing in place. So I was more than happy. I had just crossed over into PR, and I took the job, and we literally started from square one. They had, to her knowledge and to my knowledge, a press release had never been sent out, other than maybe the day of the parades. They would get same-day coverage then, and that would be about the extent of it. So it was my goal and challenge to start generating story hooks that would generate pre-coverage. And it took about 1 year before what seemed like the floodgates just lifted up. The first year I had to kick and scream for coverage. The media, mainstream media, was not quite used to covering it to any large extent, the parade and festival. So about into my second year, we started noticing quite a bit of response from the media, and we were giving them a full menu of angles. And at the same time, the festival had just been moved into Balboa Park at this point, and that was significant. So a lot of ingredients came together whereby the coverage started to flow in, and what started out in that first couple of years as being media solicitation eventually would turn into media control every year, and which we still enjoy. I think we have a lot of people in our camp in San Diego in the local media, as far as mainstream TV, the Union Tribune, and some of the print as well. So Pride is well received by the media. Again, it's always our goal to be extremely accommodating to the media, give them full access, make sure sources are ready to be interviewed that they want to. And from a editorial standpoint, which I've been on that side of the game, that actually increases chances for coverage. So we've been very, very accommodating to them. Everything from letting TV trucks park as close to the festival gate as possible, to giving them art, everything they need. So the media has been extremely receptive, I think, and like I said, there's a lot of the community in the media, and I hate to run the risk of saying it's liberal media here, but it is. I feel that people have been liberal in their coverage to us. Even the local Fox affiliate, which so many people equate with the national network. Fox has been among the TV stations that have given us prolific coverage over the years. Well, that was exactly, it was a frenzy leading up to the Cunanan event. We were going along as business as usual, just getting very basic, general, good coverage, and then the wrench was thrown into the mix, where there was this rumor that Andrew Cunanan may be coming back to San Diego while the manhunt was on, and he might be at the Pride Festival. So there was a lot of overreaction within the community that by the time the media came on board to capture this, they captured some of that reaction. The FBI came and held a press conference, and then in the meantime, myself and then Executive Director Mandy Schultz, we literally became barraged. In the perhaps, I think it was 5 days leading up to this, we were doing interviews nonstop phone, radio, on camera, TV. National media was descending on us. We were holding as many press conferences as possible because we just couldn't both keep up with the volume of interview requests that they wanted from the Pride organization. So we were going around the clock. I mean, I could remember having to get up at 4:30 in the morning to do like some radio interview for New York City Drive Time. Everybody was covering it. From the New York Times, the BBC radio in England was calling us. We basically, I mean, there was just no time to even go to the bathroom in those 5 days. It was very nonstop. So that was probably the most intense year still that I can remember, even though there have been other intense years when it came to damage. Significantly, I've seen the marketing arm of Pride grow dramatically, particularly starting from the mid to late 90s. Of course, increased sponsorships. The organization has taken on more and more professional leadership. So there's a combination of all of those things at work that have made this Pride grow to what it is. I mean, I have literally watched it blossom like a flower over the last 14 years, where it was such a grassroots organization that didn't draw too many, mainstream sponsors, if at all, when I first started attending Pride and working for Pride. So, I mean, now it's a formidable Pride organization compared to other Prides in the country. It's very well organized and with a good marketing arm, both in PR and the general marketing. Well, my pipe dream for Pride in the future, which I would like to see Pride move to El Cajon or Pacific Beach for the parade. I mean, this is, it's a far-fetched idea, I realize, but if any Pride organization for that matter, not just San Diego Pride, is to continue sending its message and carving out pathways like it has in this history of Pride at least, at some point, again, it would just be on my wish list. I would like to see Pride move out of the bubble for a secondary parade through Main Street, El Cajon, or down Garnett and Pacific Beach. Places where a Pride parade will stun the residents a little bit and generate interest, much like the early Pride parades here that used to just launch downtown. Amidst jeering sailors and going by tattoo parlors and so forth. So I would certainly someday like to see Pride just move out of the bubble and continue being Pride.